What's up, everybody? It's TNA Junkie. Don't mind the screen. I'm just having fun with my camera. I got bored. Probably do some other ones with some other effects. Like I said, this is just basically me being bored as hell. This is kind of in response to some stuff that J-Hop said. Just for those who don't know, me and him are cool, so when I say what I say, I'm pretty sure he ain't going to take me to offense, and I don't think anybody else really should either. When you said that you don't understand why people say that the WWE is having a rough patch, it's because a lot of us who, not trying to say you're young or like too young or anything, but a lot of us who've been around for a lot longer, who've been watching it a lot longer, the way we look at it is WWE used to be really great. Like, not just storyline wise though, but their matches. The matches have gotten to the point where everything's a headlock, or it's one power move, then it's a bunch of headlocks, and I mean, all a headlock is really even used for, aside from sometimes submission, most of your side armbar headlocks like this is used to call a spot. So basically, for those of us who are training, when we watch it now, it looks like just one long spot call, and we're like, what the hell? Why does it take 5 minutes to call a spot? And it's just kind of, it's gotten to the point where they're not doing as much wrestling as they are fondling. And I mean, I love the wrestlers from WE. I mean, I love King Kennedy. I love Randy Orton. I still got love for Triple H. He's still one of my favorites. I still got love for HBK. I still got love for The Undertaker. I mean, I do not dislike WE wrestlers. I do not. And I'm not saying they can't perform. I'm saying the way the WE does it, I mean, you got to think about it. You got, what, 5 hours of on-air programming that they have to deal with and be ready for it. And I mean, some of these guys got to stay ready in case something happens. So if one of the matches doesn't get to go off like they wanted to, they have to find a filler. They have to find something to fill that slot. So no matter what, certain guys are always having to pump that iron and be ready for the match. And I mean, you don't just have the 5 hours of on-air time. You've also got all the live shows, dark matches. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they have to be ready for, and they have to work so hard for. I mean, you got to think about it. These dudes must work at least 4 or 5 days out of the week wrestling. And after being in the ring, I've been in the ring once now, and I went in there 10 minutes before I was pretty much getting kind of worn down. I mean, it's a lot more to it than everybody thinks it is. It's not easy. It's not, I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's the most fun I've ever had. But it's a lot harder than I gave it credit for originally. And having been there and done that, I can honestly say you know, it's something, I respect these guys for being able to do it as much as they do. But we're saying that the wrestling is not looking as good because these guys are so tired. If WE would cut back on, first off, they need to chill with this brand extension. I mean, I love ECW for what it used to be, Extreme Championship Wrestling, but now it's become basically Entertainment Championship Wrestling. They need to bring it on back to just Raw and SmackDown. And if they seriously want to keep all those wrestlers around, then try and extend Raw or SmackDown or both of them to a 3-hour slot or something else. But I mean, you've got ECW for 1 hour, so you're already showcasing less than the talent is necessary. Basically just distribute it amongst Raw and SmackDown and get things settled. But I mean, these guys need a break, and they're just wrestling so much, and they're traveling so much. I mean, WE goes everywhere, and I mean, I respect that, but you're wearing your guys down. That's why I said, I don't think John Cena is really a bad wrestler. I just think that he hasn't had near enough training. I mean, there's a lot of stuff he needs to But he needs time to train it, and he doesn't have that time because he's the champion right now. He's been champion for 3 years. He never had the opportunity to learn how to do other stuff. He's always had to just try and pick it up on the fly, and it doesn't work as well. I mean, he is trying, and I give him credit for that. But I mean, you gotta come on. I mean, come on now. They're wearing all the wrestlers down. They're doing their best to put on the best show they can. And I mean, I respect them for it to no end, because I know that can't be easy. But I mean, if you look at it, most independent shows that are not WE or TNA or anything like that do a show once a month. Some of the more prominent ones do it like once every other week. And then some of the wrestlers will travel around and try and do it at least once a week. Sometimes twice a week if there's a double showing. But I mean, that's it. They work 2 days out of the week. John Cena roughly, on any given week, he roughly works 3-4 days out of any week. Out of 1 week. And that's when he's actually got ring time. I mean, that's not in the in-between where before the ring time he has to work out so he can get, pumped up and look good. That's not the time in between where he has to work out, because you've got to keep working out. These guys have to work out a lot to keep that muscle tone. Special diets that they're all probably on. Steroid usage for whoever, legal or otherwise. It's a lot of stuff to keep up with, and I mean, the traveling alone must kill them. I mean, jet lag, tired from a car ride. We've all been there, we've all experienced, and the older you get, the worse these effects are. I mean, I'm just now 22, and I can understand how a long car trip will take it out of you. So that's the only reason we say WE is having a rough patch, because TNA doesn't really travel as much. They're just starting to travel, really. So that's kind of why we said that. It's not to say that WE sucks. Personally, I think that Vince McMahon needs to stay out of the storyline. I think he needs to hand it over to Stephanie. I wish it would go to Shane, but I know he wants to wrestle, so I think he knows to step down to Shane and Stephanie, and he needs to just back off for a little while and get his head out of his ass, because the storyline is horrible right now. It's not worth watching. I don't care about any of the matches. They don't make me care. That's the problem, is that they cannot get a good setup to where I actually give a rat's ass. TNA actually does that for me. And if it does it for some of you, that's fine. If it does for some of you, that's great. WWE just doesn't do it for me right now. When they pick up on their storyline again, I will watch again. And I've said that. I will not ever say that I wouldn't watch WWE. I will say that I won't right now because I can't tolerate the storyline. I don't think they're pushing the right people. So it's not that I dislike WE, it's that I dislike pretty much the direction that they're taking it to right now. They're too big, I think, for their own good. I think they need to come back down a little bit, because I mean, great things come in small packages. We've all heard that saying, but I mean, it's true. WE is just expanded itself too much. They need to come back down, and then they can go back to having great matches again, and people will want to watch more. I mean, that's just basically what I have to say on that. Catch y'all later, and TNA Jeff saying, keep on watching.